Yo, what's going on, everybody? You see the thumbnail, you've read the title, and today I want to talk about the lack of innovation in Black Ops Cold War because I believe the lack of innovation is just one of the few reasons why Black Ops Cold War is so boring. So, with that being said, intro out of the way, let's get into the video, guys. Alright, so before we can talk about Black Ops Cold War's complete lack of innovation, we have to talk about why innovation is so important in Call of Duty. And in order to do this, we have to go back to when Call of Duty was criticized for being the same game every single year. And when it stopped being criticized for being the same game every single year, which was roughly around Advanced Warfare. And I'm going to use Advanced Warfare as an example because Advanced Warfare is the biggest example of an innovation on the Call of Duty formula. Advanced Warfare brought in exosuits. I'm sure, as we all know, in Advanced Warfare was a super hated game for quite a lot of reasons, but whether you loved or hated Advanced Warfare, whether you thought it was the best Call of Duty ever or the worst Call of Duty ever, you can't deny that Advanced Warfare did something different that has never been seen in Call of Duty before. It did something entirely different. It was brand new. Black Ops 3 brought in a whole new innovation when it brought in its specialist system, which was an entirely different flow of gameplay. It added a whole nother element of gameplay to it. Infinite Warfare then innovated more on that specialist system with their rig system, which was an entirely different take on it. Call of Duty World War II brought us back to the boots on the ground era and brought us the division system, which was a whole nother take on create a class system. And while World War II kind of does suffer from the same problem of Black Ops Cold War, with not having all that much innovation, it still had something, but it wasn't a lot. I'm going to essentially skip over this, but Black Ops 4 then innovated quite a bit too with manual healing, 150 health, the very first time we ever saw a long time to kill in a Call of Duty game. And Black Ops 4 also brought back the specialist system. So Black Ops 4 is another one of those games where it's kind of like you love it or you absolutely hate it because there's a bunch of innovation in it. And then that takes us over to Modern Warfare, which I absolutely despise, but nonetheless, Modern Warfare innovated a bunch, with the gunsmith system being the biggest thing that they did, but they did a bunch of small other tweaks such as mounting and doors, which I both think are horrible mechanics that should never come back into Call of Duty, but nonetheless they were something new. Despite me absolutely hating Modern Warfare, I have to give it credit for at least taking some risks and changing up the gameplay formula. But this can't be said for Black Ops Cold War. Black Ops Cold War basically did absolutely nothing to change up the gameplay of Call of Duty. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Unless you want to talk about the watered down version of the gunsmith system that offers no creativity that the Modern Warfare system did. The Modern Warfare gunsmith system actually allowed for some creativity, which allowed for some interesting gameplay moments, like turning the AK-47 into the AK-74U. You could do that in Modern Warfare. You had that sandbox of creativity that allowed for interesting gameplay mechanics. Cold War took that and they said, you know what, let's just take that and do the complete opposite with it and make everybody run the exact same attachments. Every single gun has the exact same attachments. It's pretty much a absolute copy and paste for attachments on every single new weapon, to the point where everybody just runs the exact same thing, so there's no innovation there. And then you have the score streak system in Black Ops Cold War, which we have all agreed is just objectively worse than the standard score streak system because there's no adrenaline involved. There's none of that adrenaline of being one off your attack helicopter, one off your AC-130, one off your napalm strike, one off your whatever streak you're running. There's no adrenaline there. There's no adrenaline of being one off that super high-end streak. That doesn't exist. So the score streak system is objectively worse, which was like their one innovation for this year, and it's agreed upon as the entire community to not even really be a good innovation because it's not interesting, it's not different, it's just score streaks with no adrenaline. That's all it is. It's to the point where if you're a good player, you're just gonna get your streaks every single game. So what does Black Ops Cold War have that makes it different, that sets it apart? Absolutely nothing. It's the exact same game as, like Ghosts. It's just the same as every other game, but nothing sets it apart. Nothing sets Black Ops Cold War apart from any other Call of Duty game other than the fact that it has absolutely no innovation. If you want to consider that as some big gigabrain 10,000 IQ, like, oh, what sets Cold War apart is that there's absolutely no innovation whatsoever in it. So that's what sets it apart. Mind blown, right? No. Like, no, because it's a boring game. There's nothing different about it. It's just bland. There's no flavor there, which is why it needs some innovation, which is why I'm really hoping that at least Vanguard has some of this innovation here. I've kind of lost track, to be honest, of where I'm going with this, but Black Ops Cold War doesn't have anything different about it. It doesn't have anything interesting about it. It doesn't have anything that really sets it apart, which is what I wish it did have, because I think if Cold War had something that set it apart, I would want to play the game more and I wouldn't be getting bored after 3 minutes of gameplay. I wouldn't be getting bored after 2 matches. I would actually be able to get invested in the game if there was something interesting about it. But there's not. There's nothing interesting about Cold War. And I guess that kind of gives it something because, well, it didn't take any risks, so it's not the worst Call of Duty game ever made. It's just boring. It's just there. It's kind of nothing special. It's nothing special. It's nothing horrible. It's just there. That's it at the end of the day. Innovation is incredibly important. Black Ops Cold War did absolutely nothing. With that being said, I am kind of rambling on now, so I'm just going to end the commentary here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and with that being said, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.